When we're talking about the great blues guitarists of our time, then this man crops up very, very regularly indeed. He's got a new album out at the moment, which is called Nothing But Love, and he's touring in support of that throughout Europe and the UK. The album is an absolute stunner and a real showcase for the not just the blues, but also the variety of musical styles that this man encompasses and brings into his music. He is, of course, Mr. Robert Cray. Robert, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely our pleasure. Now then, the album itself, as I say, it's an absolute tour de force. It's an album that, as soon as I started to play it, I thought, hello, we're onto something great here. Was it a conscious effort to actually sort of bring in the different musical styles that are in there?
You know, what happens for us is that we have, the luxury of having different songwriters in this group. Richard Cousins, our bass player, writes with a good friend of his, Hendrik Zackley. They brought in, of which is the first tune on the album called Won't Be Coming Home. And then they also brought in a number called A Memo. And then our keyboard player, Jim Pugh, brought in a couple of songs. One is called I'll Always Remember You, and the other one is called Worry. And then I brought in 5 tunes, and then we did one cover by Bobby Parker called Blues Get Off My Shoulder. So it's that luxury that we have with all these different writers and these different flavors that come into play.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the album itself, as I say, you've brought in this variety of styles. I mean, it helps, I suppose, as well that as well as yourself, you've got a group of great musicians involved, haven't you?
We do. That's really nice.
Yeah.
It's exciting every time I get the opportunity to be on stage with somebody I'm looking forward to working with, or just being in in those situations. Yeah, it's always exciting, and a lot of times it's a challenge, and sometimes it's scary. It's great. It's a wonderful place to be.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess then that the sort of immediate feedback that you get from a live audience is something that you actually feed off and enjoy, is it?
Yeah, it is. You get once you get the audience with you, you feel like you can raise it to another level.
Yeah.
Because it's their support that gives you that feeling and that energy to go beyond what you would normally do and take a chance and go even further.
Yeah. Do the audiences and do audience reactions differ in different countries? Because you play all over the world, don't you, Robert?
We do play in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it makes a difference. It's just once you're in the place or country, the response is a response.
Yeah.
And you don't see it. You don't. It doesn't. It's no different than
yeah.
It's like you don't see people's color.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just judge them by their character.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, because obviously you've travelled a lot, and the travelling part of touring, is that something you enjoy, or is that something that is a bit of a chore?
No, I enjoy it actually.
Yeah.
It's in my blood. My father was in the Army.
Yeah.
And we would move around every couple of years, 2.5 to 3 years, and that's what we did. And then I joined the band in '74. We had to travel to do that.
Yeah.
And then we've been moving ever since.
Yeah.
In the blood.
Yeah, well, that's just as well for all your fans over here in Europe, because of course we get the chance to enjoy the music with you and to enjoy that live experience. What's next on the horizon for Robert Cray then? And I mean, the album has been very well received, hasn't it?
It is getting great reception, which is it's great for us. We really feel happy about that whole thing, because a lot of times you put records out and they just kind of fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
And so with this one, we're really happy with the response that we're getting. But it's enabling us to do the touring that we're doing, and so we are doing a lot of touring. We're doing the UK and Europe, and we're going to Australia this year, and we have more dates in the States. And then also we're going to go back into the studio in September.
Right. Excellent. And so, I mean, is that something that you're thinking about ahead of time, and thinking about, well, how's the next album going to take shape? Do you have ideas for that, or is it sufficient unto the day, and when you arrive in the studio in September, then you'll start to think about it?
Well, we know that we're planning on going to the studio in September.
Yeah.
Right now, we have no idea or concept or anything like that about the record.
Yeah.
Those kind of things and the songwriting will more than likely happen. I was going to say the day before, which is kind of true.
Yeah.
No, we all, myself and the rest of the guys included, we work by the seat of our pants. To be honest, we start working when we know it's time. Just about time to go into the studio.
Yeah. Well, whatever you're doing, it's working, because I mean, as I say, the album Nothing But Love, it's a tremendous album, and a real showcase for your talent and your musical genius, Mr. Cray. And we would advise everybody to run out and buy it immediately, because it's certainly, we don't have turntables anymore, do we? But it's been on my iPod since the moment I downloaded it, and it's just one of those wonderful albums that you can listen to at any time of day, and you will always enjoy it. Robert, it's a joy to speak to you. Thank you so much, and we wish you every success with the tour.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
That's absolutely our pleasure. And say hello to the guys in the band for us from here in the Midlands as well.
I will. Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Hey, and for your information, I'm looking at 2 turntables right now. And also, the record has been released on vinyl.
Has it really?
Yes, it has.
Ah, now I might have to check that out then. I think I'm the only person in the world, you see, that still uses vinyl, and it's and there is something about vinyl that I know it's the Luddite in me, you see, the anti-technical guy. I just do love vinyl. There's something about a vinyl record that just I swear that it sounds different.
It does sound different.
Yeah.
And I'm that way too. As a matter of fact, Richard Cousins, our bass player, and myself, we when we're on tour, we make visits to vinyl stores.
Yeah.
And collect,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a collector, but I have some vinyl.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Valve amplifier, to run the stereo.
Oh, brilliant stuff.
There is, it is slowly making a comeback. I think the kids are realizing that.
Yeah.
And so on our trips to the vinyl stores, we're seeing reissues of more reissues of older records, and a lot more of the current bands releasing the records on vinyl. Yeah.
Excellent. That's what we want. A return. I know it's sort of, I don't know, people see it as some sort of retrograde step, but I just think it's about the sort of returning to the joy that we had when you sort of sat a record on the turntable, when you slid it out of the sleeve for the first time and put it on a turntable. There is no joy quite like that, I don't think. So, yeah, absolutely wonderful. We'll set the world to rights, Robert. That's what we have to do. But it's nice to know that you're in the vanguard of the vinyl revolution. I like it. All right. Thanks so much for giving us a ring, and I shall look forward to listening back to this. And it's been an absolute pleasure, sir.
All right, man. Thank you.
Okay. Cheers. Thanks a lot, Robert. Bye bye.